Alright, so let's talk about spoilers for Hello, Love Again. We're gonna be spoiling everything. The first movie, the second movie, the major plot points, the fights, the crying, the jerks, what happened in their relationship. So if you haven't seen the movie, click off this video and watch the first movie review that I did. That was non-spoilerish in that type of way. Now that the rest of the world and more countries have seen the movie, we can talk about spoilers, and it's Thanksgiving here in the United States, so happy Thanksgiving to you. You're amazing for everything that you do, and hopefully I find my wife after watching this movie this weekend, because it's gonna be a crazy weekend with videos, photos, with parties, with dates. Hopefully I get some dates. But anyway, let's talk about the movie. So where do we leave off? So basically Ethan visits Joy in the spring of 2020. They were together for a while, and then COVID lockdown happened. But during that fun time, he asked her to marry him, and he says, I promise to fill your life with joy and love. And she says yes. And I love how she did that. She just like she just says this, and she's like, yes, Ethan. That is so cool. She pauses for like a second, and then she just takes her hand down. She's like, come on, dude, go ahead. So they get married, but then COVID happened. So it really put a damper on their plans. And COVID affected us in a big way, not just in the movies, but also real life, and especially in their relationship. COVID was a make it or break it for individuals, for people in relationships. Either you sank or you swim. And Ethan, unfortunately, he dove out the deep end. He did not know how to swim, especially with Joy. He was at his darkest times, if you've seen the movie or have seen the trailers. It was his darkest time. So basically, they were confined to this small, I want to say, like, it wasn't even a condo. It was somebody's house, literally one bedroom. So they were together a lot. And he's like, this is only temporary. The fact of the matter is that they're together, right? But Joy she's never stopped being ambitious. She still took every cleaning job she could. She was taking care of this elderly woman, and she's like, you know what? Ethan can help me taking these cleaning jobs. It's my name on the line. We can try to get money. He's trying to do deliveries, but Ethan did not take this the right way. Like, he's like, I'm more than these jobs, because he came from Hong Kong being an amazing bartender, being a hotshot, making a lot of money, having his residency there. He even put up his own bar, which is, I don't think you should have done that. Even for me, I'm like, I should have waited a couple of months or even a couple of years to open up your own business, but that's just me. So basically, he's like, you know what? I can't do this. And they're fighting, and he's going down a dark path because he doesn't like the cleaning jobs. And then one time he just snapped. He's like, he had to clean, I guess, this elderly woman. How do I say this without being like not monetized in YouTube, like to be respectful? She did number 2, and there was a lot of crap everywhere, everywhere. And he's like, you know what? That was SHIT. He's like, I can't believe I'm doing that. And he's like, this is why no one takes those jobs. But Joy was right. She did tell him mostly everyone that flies abroad has to start at the bottom. And Joy was like, stay with me, babe. Like, we can build a future here together, a solid foundation structure for the future. She's like, we can build here. This is our future. And then he's just like, you know what, Joy? Like, I have no plans of staying in Canada. I'm going back to Hong Kong. And then Joy was like, I have no plans going back to Hong Kong. And this was the first moment where people in the theater started like crying a little bit. She says, did you only ask to marry me so you can take me back to Hong Kong? And then he says, did you only say yes for me to stay? And she's like, I only said yes because I loved you. Now remember, in the first movie, she said she'll come back. And she was in Hong Kong when she said that. A lot of people were thinking, is she going to come back to Ethan or to Hong Kong? But to be very honest with you, it was kind of implied that she would come back to Hong Kong. I mean, right? I mean, she literally said that in Hong Kong when they were having their first breakup, when she was traveling to Canada 5 years ago. She said she'll come back. Of course, I mean, she's literally living in Hong Kong. Of course, she was going to come back to Hong Kong. I mean, that's like 90% of the truth right there. But then Joy, probably seeing the realization in Canada, she's like, dude, I have more job opportunities here. Like, things are more aligned. I get better money after this COVID thing. Like, this is such a better thing, So Joy did not want to leave Canada because she saw the future ahead. But Ethan, because he's still like relived to his past, he's tied to his past. That's what I got from him, is like he wanted to take her back. So guess the awkward silence in the theater because everyone's like crying. You see the sniffles, and then guess what happens? He gets a call from Edward. Hey, Edward, I'm sorry, but your dad tested positive for COVID. And then he just like shuts down. He packs his suitcase and he goes off to Hong Kong. But remember, this is 2021, so you still had to be quarantined. There was like limited flights. Basically, his dad died, and he did not have a chance to say goodbye. And they still talk, or they're long distance because Joy stayed in Canada. I'm like, wow, dude, that has no excuse. And guess what he did? He cheats on her. He cheats on her, and not in like a bad way, in like a terrible way. So basically, all those fights, he's screaming at her, he's not happy with her, he's shutting down, he's not communicating with her, and then he takes the flight to Hong Kong and he calls Joy. He's like, you know what, his dad died. She's like, I'm so sorry. He starts drinking a lot, and then I guess he had a big fight. He's like, all you'll care about is yourself, the world is ending, blah blah blah. And then Jim is like, he's just drunk, whatever, right? So the morning of the next morning comes, right? And Joy packs everything up. It's the morning, it's cold. She says, hey, I got a 4 p.m. flight, I'll be there. So this is significant because Joy was willing to give up everything just to be with Ethan again in Hong Kong. I mean, she did promise him to come back, but that's beside the point. And then she has the audacity, or he has the audacity to answer with a video call. With a video call. We all know this because the last scene was some girl with like a smoking thing, so you know where he was going. He cheated on her, not just with a kiss, but he literally had sex with another girl. So he was inside of her. And then he has the audacity. He's drunk, he's hungover. Dude, why would you do that? He answers in a video call, right? And then he sees the girl walking out, like putting her shirt on. I'm like, oh my god, dude, why didn't you just wait? Like, I would have replied, be like, baby, let me get some water, or I'm in the bathroom, right? But that's whatever, you know, that's, and basically he cheats on her. And she sees that. She sees that, and that must hurt her to her core. She starts crying, you know, she takes off the ring, and then later on when they're having that climax, she says, I wanted to jump in every train because I wanted to, and she like was complimenting, she was thinking about killing herself. That's what it means when she says, I wanted to go and jump on the train to stop the pain. But then she says, I'm not going to be weak like you. And some would call that unforgivable, what he did. I mean, I get the fighting, I get the argument, and I understand the treating bad because you're in a dark place, but that doesn't excuse the fact that, dude, you didn't have to cheat on her, bro. Like, that was a big thing, you know? I get cheating might be a lot things to a lot of people. I have cheated on people. People have cheated on me. Yes, I have given second chances to them, and they have given second chances to me. It did work for a while, but I was probably way too young. But anyway, let's fast forward. So let's talk about Joy in the present day. So now she only agreed to do the Canada pathway comment because she was jealous. And a lot of people have a lot of gripe with this. So Baby asked her, hey, girl code, can I date Ethan because you guys are exes and it doesn't seem like you like him, right? So Joy is like, yeah, go date him, whatever. You know, and so of course the posse, they're in the like the picnic, you know, they're like what they're gonna do. They're gonna live together, do nasty things. And she's like, I'll do it. And then she's like, I'll do it because we have history. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Canada common pathway is, and I did some research, and based on what I got from the movie and the research was, it has to be you look like in a real relationship for consecutive of 12 months. So you have to live together. You have documents, messages, histories, but people need to know about it with photos, being together. So basically they have to act like a real life couple. So when he goes to her in the picnic in front of everybody, he's like, so we're back together? And she's like, for a year. And that's pretty significant because remember in the first movie, Ethan helped her out, you know, with like a job, with like buying her power banks, but also like just being there for her, you know, this stuff. So she wanted to return the favor. But then Uno's like, you know what? Like this, who am I talking to? Am I talking to Joy or Maria? Because they're completely two different things. And then the camera cuts. I'm like, But at the end of the day, she does take him back. Yes, maybe it wasn't a result of jealousy, or maybe in the beginning, remember when he's like, I don't want you back, and she starts seeing him, she starts seeing that he's changed not because of his words, but also because of his actions. He's trying to do whatever it takes to survive. So whatever, right? You know, there's a lot of change that's happening. But there's a scene later on where she says, why did I let you back into my life? It's clear to her that there's still some unsolved trauma, there's feelings involved, and the more she's hanging out with him, you don't think those feelings are gonna come back 10 times fold. I mean, they're older now. They look different. They feel different. They're more mature, and they learned a lot. So let's talk about the ending. Joy comes back. Joy comes back. Not like the first movie. The first movie ends with her leaving on the airplane or being in the airport. So Joy comes back, and a lot of people have a lot of gripe with this because he cheated. He did something unforgivable. A lot of people talk about like second chances, and to me, second chances are warranted to some degree. It depends on the circumstance. It depends on the person. It depends on the situation. Basically, for me, what I got was, yes, Ethan was in a dark time, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he cheated on him. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Like, if my girl, beautiful, gorgeous girl, cheated on me like that, and I saw that, it would hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you, it would hurt. But if I did, and this is just me speaking, if I did see that she changed and she's trying so hard to like, I don't want to say win me over, but to prove that she still loves me, she only wants me, that was a mistake, that will never happen again. Remember, everything was drunk, but that has no excuse. That's what I'm saying. Like, if a girl did that to me, it would hurt really bad, and I'll probably like F off for like a few weeks. And then, but if she did seem like she want me back, yeah, I would take her back. But that's just me. Anyway, she initially accepts a job in New York. Now, if you don't know, New York, remember when Una was pestering her in the beginning, and she's like, I don't know about that, because she was on her second term in Canada trying to be a nurse, and then Una was like, you have to do two more terms after that. Joy, I guess she wanted to stay in Canada for a little bit longer to finish her nursing degree and stuff. The only reason why I feel like she got pushed towards the New York thing was because Ethan was there. And so it's not like other people don't want them, you know? Other people do want them, like I said in my review. But basically, she reads this note, right? And it's cool how the cinematography of the movie is portrayed. She's on the Uber, you know, they're at the airport, it's sunny, it's sunset. She reads a letter from I can't even find her name because she's not listed in the cast. She's taking care of this elderly woman in terms of nurse. And she speaks a lot of English, so that's cool because the second movie speaks more English than the first one, still with English subtitles. And the elderly woman with needs always says, you know, I hope you see John, you know, John's here. And then one time there was a significant point in the movie where the elderly woman says, you know, I spend so much time working, like, you know, for what? And for what too? She was right. She's like, I'm all alone. I want to go home to John. And I guess Joy, maybe she kind of knew what that meant, but she's like, this is your home now. But I think the elderly woman, to be honest with you, I think she wanted to pass away. Like she wanted to die to be with John. You know, she's like, I spent all this time working for what? And for what, dude? I mean, to be very honest with you, I mean, are we working to live? Or are we just working to work? Because the elderly woman has a lot of truth to that. You know, she's like, I'm literally working for nothing. I'm working and John's not here. John's not here. I want to be with John. You know, that's where my tahan is. That's where my joy is. That's where my home is. And so when she's reading the note, and it's beautiful, by the way, she's like, you know what? Like, I want to be home with John. I spent so much years working. I never got a chance to be with him like that. You know, you're lucky because you're still alive. You know, you have this guy that loves you and he changed. So she comes back, which is amazing because people who are in the theater were already like tear jerking and stuff, you know. But it's significant because in the first movie, she did promise to come back. So she comes back to Ethan, right? Ethan's like, what can I do for you? And then Joy's like, didn't I promise to come back? And then he's like, are you really back? Like in terms of the girlfriend relationship. And they go back there. And this ties into my next point. Love requires sacrifice. And that can not be more true than this movie. In the rooftop, when they were talking about, and it's cool because it's kind of resemblance of the first film. Because you know how they talk in the rooftops before the partying, I guess. So in the rooftop, she's like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you that I got my visa to go to the United States. And then Ethan's like, you don't have to tell me anything because we're not together. I'm gonna hold you, I'm gonna embrace it, but we're past that. I want you to choose. And it's not like Joy, I mean, she technically had to choose, but they were not together, you know? And it sucks though, it's like 1 year, but bro, like you're getting heartbreak all over again just because, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, she's like, I'm going to New York, but still, Ethan, his plans were to stay in Canada. Because Joy's like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, I have to commit to this. My journey ends here in Canada. He already got his residency there. Now, initially, Joy wanted him to be in Canada. When they were together during the COVID, she's like, we can build a better future here, a solid foundation. We can build together. You know, we can have a solid structure here in Canada because there's better opportunities, there's better money. But a lot of people would be mad because, dude, you have another better job. Now you're at level 3 to go to New York to get a better job with the analytics that Uner was telling her and also get better pay. So a lot of people were like, no, that's undecision towards Joy because Joy was self-driven, promoting. She wanted to be the best version of herself and she literally gave that up. But she was going to give that up anyway too in Canada. Remember when I told you she was going to go back to Ethan in Hong Kong when he was like in his bad way? But it's not like they can't build together again. So let's say she gave up New York now. She can go back later on. But then Ethan is blacklisted. Remember in the first movie they said that you can't accept his visa? So he couldn't. But what if she starts marrying him? Then boom, that changes. So there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of loopholes. Let's say she did go to New York and then they do get married. Of course she's going to have to bring him. I mean, that's what it works. I mean, if I marry someone like from Mexico, they're obviously going to be okay to live here. That's how it's just how it works. I'm just saying, you know, so of course Ethan, there's like holes around it and hope 5 years. What I don't want to happen is another 5 years to go by and we pick up on their story. Maybe they have kids, but it doesn't seem like it because in the first 2 movies, it was never about them even talking about kids. It was just their life. And I don't think Joy would want that right now. If anything, maybe in 5 years it could be different. But yeah, she comes back and a lot of people are mad because she gave up her future. But you guys have to keep in mind, they're still in their early 30s or early to mid 30s. I think they're in their early 30s. So of course they still have like 5 years to go. Maybe next year they go to New York, you know, but at the end of the day, correct me if I'm wrong, love requires sacrifice. If I saw a girl and, you know, we're together, that would kind of not help me because I have let girls go because I couldn't do YouTube, but now I'm in a better place. So of course it's totally different. And a lot of people might get mad, oh, love doesn't require sacrifice, but it really does. If you really think about it, love does require sacrifice. But at the end of the day, these are just my right off the cuff thoughts of what I thought about the movie in spoilers reviews. I'm really happy that she came back. I really was in tears because I was like, dude, it could have gone either way. You know, you either get back together or you don't. But then she was just like, you know what? He's my Tahan. He's my home. And he did say, I'm not going to chase other people. You know, I had to commit to this. So Joy came back. And that's like the main thing that I'm really happy about. So that's just spoilers review. I don't know if this is going to get views. It really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving here in the States. So you probably won't see me for a while. I'll do like shorts on the movie reviews. But I have a pretty big weekend. But let me know what you think about the movie, the spoilers reviews. Did you like Joy coming back to Ethan? Did you really think Ethan has changed? And that New York thing, yeah, she gave that up. But at the end of the day, they could still make it happen. You know, they could still make it happen. That's what I'm trying to say. And if the producers, dude, this movie's already making box office like numbers and stuff. So probably do an update on like the numbers review. But anyway, if you made it this far, I really appreciate so much. Maybe, sorry I was rambling and being too fast. It's just, I'm very passionate about this movie. And I wanted to talk about in spoilers review, but if you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye!